Good morning, guys, again. Okay, this video, I am going to give you the facts, and I want you to make your own decision on what you need be. I mean, I want you to make your own decision, do your own research on everything I talk about. Fact check me, do whatever, of course. But this one is kind of concerning because the news is, a lot of you have sent me news articles on this. This is about supposedly injecting cattle and pigs. I got to be careful how I say things here. This way, okay? And so a couple of you have sent me these articles that, oh my God, they're gonna poison. These articles say they're gonna poison our food supply. It could kill you. Yada 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 yada. All right. There's even some attorney who is going ballistic on Twitter about all this, saying, and I'm gonna read this to you minus a couple of words. You have to put them in there, but it says, breaking news, the lobbyists for the cattlemen and pork associations in several states have confirmed they will be using, insert here, in pigs and cows this month. Okay? Now, under no circumstances am I saying that, I'm going to link a lot of this stuff below so you guys can take a look at it. Okay? Under no circumstances am I saying that edible vaccines or whatever aren't being considered. I mean, there's a NIH website that I will link below that talks specifically about it. Okay. However, first off, in doing some internet research, I ran across a fact check on all this. All right. And I'm going to read this quote to you. Quote, in livestock, there are no that are used in the United States, said Jessica Gordon, a cattle veterinarian and associate professor at Michigan State University, in a January 25th email. Okay. So I figured, okay, it was a January 25th email, and this attorney on Twitter is saying they're going to start doing it this month. Well, okay, things could change from January to April. No problem. So this is what I did. I called this. I got to remember them all now. Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky's Cattlemen's Associations and Pork Association. Okay. And of course, I get the receptionists on the phone or whatever it is all the time. And, their answer, I got about 5 of them to answer the phone. The other ones went to voicemail. Didn't talk to everyone, I'm just saying. Okay. And they're like, oh, our lobbyist is my boss. And so they get me over to the person. Each and every one of them told me they know nothing about this, and that this must have just come out in the news somewhere, on social media somewhere, because my phone has been blowing up since yesterday afternoon, is what one person told me. Okay. Not a one of them could confirm whatsoever that there is any being utilized on cattle or pork. Okay. Granted, the tweet that apparently, or the articles that set this off, said in several states. Now, it may not be the 8 or 9 states that I call. Who knows? This could be Oregon. This could be California. I don't know. Okay. I'm just saying that this would be worth you calling your state cattlemen's society, or cattlemen's association, actually, or pork association, and asking this question. Okay. And reading the specific comment that I said and asking them, is there any truth to this? Because that's exactly what I did. Okay. I could not verify this with any of them that this was being done. I'm just saying, go out and check for yourself. Do whatever. Okay. Now, the other part that comes into this, and again, this is in a fact check article, is there is no way that this could be transferred through the meat, according to this article. Again, I'm going to say this a dozen times. You make your own decisions. You check on it as need be. Okay. There apparently this went down in Australia a while back. That the Australian farmers were being forced to do this. That was completely debunked. So this is almost a story that's getting recycled, and now they're going to say, "Hey, it's in the United States." But if the Cattlemen's Association can't verify it, and as they all told me, sure, we inoculate our livestock or whatever from other diseases. Yeah, we know that. You do the same for your dog. You take the dog in for a rabies shot or distemper or whatever it would be. Of course, I mean, measles, mumps, rubella, yada, yada, yada. That's normal. But to take this one step further, like this guy has, in my personal opinion, is very irresponsible. Now, there is one thing that he talked about that I will 100% support. And in regards to this, I think we all should support it. If you look at states that are probably on the cutting edge for protecting people's rights, okay, and we'll use the term patriot states here, I'd say you'd probably put the top 4 as being Missouri, Tennessee, Florida, and Texas, okay, because they seem to be at the forefront of everything. Missouri has House Bill 1169 up, and I'm going to link this one below too, okay? And this is all about, it's very short, you can read it, it's only 2 pages, okay? But this is all about forcing anything that is done to be made, the people being made aware. So if there were any, if this actually ever became true, okay? I'm not even saying that this is true now, but I'm saying if it ever happened, because apparently there's none of these that even exist at this point. Missouri has a bill up that would require people at the store, the packaging, to label the food as it has any gene therapy product in it. Okay, just giving you that. No different than, something would say it's GMO or whatever it is, if it had any sort of gene therapy done. It's something to support, okay? Maybe, again, if you want to ask your congressman, if you live in Missouri, tell your congressman to support this. I really can't see how this is not going to pass, okay? Because letting the people know what's in their food is kind of important. But read through this, you're going to see that anything, they're saying that anything, one of the lines here, a food, cosmetic, or any substance intended to be ingested, introduced into, or applied to the human body, or intended to induce psychological effects or physiological effects, so anything that you could possibly consume would have to be labeled. Good thing. On the other side, okay, because if you go back to what I was talking about what's on the NIH website, they talk about, and that goes back to 2013, how long they've been talking about that. But foods that they are thinking that 10 years now, okay, and I'll read this first sentence to you. In recent years, edible vaccine emerged as a new concept developed by biotechnologists. Edible vaccines are subunit vaccines where the selected genes are introduced into the plants and the transgenic plant is then introduced to manufacture the encoded protein. If you're a scientist, you can figure that one out. Foods under such application include potatoes, bananas, lettuce, corn, soybeans, rice, and legumes. What I'm going to say in this is prudence might suggest something. I'm not discounting what the Cattlemen's Association said. I'm not going to completely discount the spirit of the article. I think the articles are kind of going over the top. They're conspiracy theorists. They're meant to scare you. But this is just another reason why you should be growing your own food or raising your own food or getting the food that you eat from somebody that you trust, from a local farmer, from a local rancher, that you can literally ask him, do you do this? It's no different than when I went to get horse manure for my garden. And one of the things I asked from the guy who was cleaning out the paddocks is, do you use Grazon on your grass? And he answered and says, no, we don't use anything on our grass. Thank you. I can ask that. You can't ask that of the butcher at Walmart going, I mean, he doesn't have, the 22-year-old kid who's stuck in the meat counter there doesn't have a clue where the meat came from, right? I'm not trying to freak anybody out here. I'm just stating the facts on this one for you and the research that I did. Mrs. P had a real good comment as we were talking about this as she was outside painting the deck at 5:30 this morning. Okay, you think the days don't start early? She was out in the dark with the lights on painting the balusters on the deck so we can work on that. But she had a real good comment. She goes, could this be a scare tactic that is being used to scare everybody away from buying beef and pork and forcing us to eat bug burgers? Very good point to think about, all right? Psychological operations. Don't think the government doesn't use them. No, they do. Trust me. Been there, okay? Trained in it. Just something to pay attention to. When you read these stories, guys, check them out. It's not hard to call the Cattlemen's Association. All you got to do is type in Tennessee, Alabama, Cattlemen's Association, and their webpage comes up and there's a phone number. As long as they're open, somebody answers the phone. And everybody I talked to was very friendly and more than happy to answer my questions. A couple of them asked me to send the articles to them so they could see. And like I said, one guy even said, this now explains why my phone started blowing up yesterday afternoon. Check it out for yourself. Do your own research. Make your own decision on what your action's going to be. But again, don't just take something for face value that is on some news site. I don't care if it's some alternative news site that you've never heard of. I don't care if it's ABC, NBC, MSNBC, Fox, whatever it is. It behooves everybody to check it out for yourself, because we all know every single media outlet, traditional, mainstream media, alt media, Twitter, whatever, every single person that's writing anymore has an agenda. Nobody comes out and gives you the straight facts. That's what I'm trying to do, okay? And obviously, there ain't anybody knocking on my door going, hey, we want you to report for us. No, there's very few independent people out there who will give you the facts. That's all I'm trying to do. Make your own decision. But that's what I found out. Pinball out.